Go hard, we don't take no shit. TMB, we'll take your bitch. You know where? You know we about our money. You know we don't turn down nothing. You know where?
Do, man. But next we're gonna go into this guy, Bill Napier. He comes over from Louisiana. Really good coach, 42 years old, fifth year coaching overall. He's 40-12. He playing experience. He was QB at Furman in 99 to 2002. As a coach, he started in 2003, coaching positions including general assistant, player coach at quarterback, tight end, and wide receiver, recruiting coordinator, offensive coordinator, assistant head coach, and head coach. He's coached for schools such as Clemson, Alabama, Colorado State, Arizona State, and Louisiana, Lafayette, and now Florida. His accolades are a Sun Belt Championship, 2020 and 2021, recent championships. His contract, it's all right, man. 7-year deal, $51.8 million, and $100K increase yearly. What you think about Napier coming over here to Florida?
I think he should have got the contract Cristobal got. This is because you're not alumni. See, this is what happens when you're not alumni and you don't know anybody, and you know what I'm saying. You gotta start from the bottom and work your way up to the top. I actually think this coaching hire is right up there with the Lincoln Rileys and the and Brian Kelly. I think it's if we're gonna just base it off what he did at Louisiana, right? I think it's a great look. Like I said earlier, you got to get new blood into the system sometimes. Sometimes you got to go for the guy that, you know, people don't know or people are not. This man took, listen to this, 7-7 his first year, right? All right, first year he just took over, 7-7. Next year he goes 11-3, 10-1, 12-1. 8-0 in the conference the last year, 7-1 in conference in previous years before that, and 40-12 overall for the season. With I think taking them to their like first bowl game, and winning the conference for the first time in forever at them, beating Appalachian State, who's been, you know, the dominant team in that conference that everybody knows about. Appalachian State. I made, in particular, me personally, a lot of money off this team last year because they were fucking rolling. I didn't catch it at the beginning of the season. I'm not gonna lie, act like it was something I was just on from the start. But about week 7, and if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Coach put me on UL. So shout out to the homie Coach. I think Coach put me on them, and I just rolled their ass like the rest of the season, and it was good for me. So I love the hire. I think they're going to do well. Now the problem is going to be Cristobal with his recruiting. If he can out-recruit him, I think he can out-coach him. I think he's going to out-coach him. But, you know, Miami, Florida, recruits in Florida, that's going to determine how that's going to go. But he's going to get way more talented guys than he had at Louisiana to run his system that he was running at Florida. I like this team. I think personally, if you're asking me who's the better hire, aside of Lincoln Riley to USC that we're going to talk about, and maybe with another team we're going to talk about, but he's not a hire, he's more of a replacement. But this is up there with the top 2 or 3 hires for me, honestly. And maybe I'm kind of biased because I like Florida a little bit, but I like this hire, Big Boss. If we're, especially based off what this man did at UL, he's definitely deserving of this opportunity.
Man, I'm going to say it like this. The guy gets dealt a decent hand going into Florida as well. Although Florida was 6-7, they did have some close games. They showed some defense at times and didn't look bad at spots in the season, but just fell on the wrong side. They weren't upside down, but they were close. They averaged 30 points a game. They gave up 26 a game. They're returning 6 on offense and 7 on defense. Mm-hmm. At quarterback, they're returning sophomore Anthony Richardson, who should get the start, but transfer Jack Miller from Ohio State and redshirt freshman Jalen Kidna provide a little more depth. At running back, Napier brings in, player coach transfer Montrell Johnson, but plenty of depth also at running back, so he can get right to it at the running game. Wide receiver, great size, but not much depth, and a little experience, but he adds Arizona State transfer Ricky Purcell. So, he's pretty solid at receiver. On the offensive line, he gets a solid unit with 3 returners, and Napier transfers follower Osiris from Louisiana comes over and helps out on the offensive line. So he should be solid in that respect. On the defensive line, he has no depth, but he's returning standout nose tackle Garvin Dexter, a 415-pounder. No, and 415-pound Desmond Watson. My bad. But this nose tackle, he was a really good nose tackle last year, and now we're getting this Desmond Watson, a big guy on the side of him right there too. So ain't no telling what's going to go down on the defensive line, and you need size when you're playing in the big league. So at linebacker, he got lots of talent and depth, but only returned 2 starters as they get all SEC linebacker Ventrell Miller. At defensive back, he got many experienced returners in addition of Jalen Kimber, a transfer from Georgia. So he has 5 solid transfer players that fit right in solid spots, which is how we've seen the transfer portal work best. When there's specific spots where you need specific players and you go pick the cream of the crop and you're able to plug and play them, this is when you got action. And I think in his first year, if he can get the morale and the team, the troops all together, I think he does spectacular this first year over here at Florida. He might not beat the big dogs for sure because, coming from where he's coming from, it took a little while for him to learn Appalachian State. That's another thing I like about Bill Napier. The way he attacked Appalachian State, okay, this is a problem, and this is how we're going to fix it. And then not only he came back and won it one time, he came back and held it down and won it again. So this is a person that could show an action, make a reaction, and make something of it. So this guy has a high possible. Definitely take these guys anytime you see a plus by their name. Because they might even shock one of the big dogs because you got the element of surprise. They're not used to what this guy bringing over here. That first year, element of surprise, he might play a close game to Georgia. Or he might play a close game to Alabama or something. I'm not saying he's going to win, but we're trying to get that money. So he's going to beat that spread. But that's how I feel about Napier as well, too. So we on the same page with that one, Marley. It's locked in. We got to stay focused. Stay disciplined, and we're going to ride.
TMB, we'll take your bitch. You know where? You know we about our money. You know we don't turn that